supper and a mother. We're at the best place around. Some stupid with a flare gun burn the place to the ground. Smoke on the water, a fire in the sky. Smoke on the water. Burned down the gambling house. It died with an awful sound. Funky and Claude was running in and out, pulling kids out of the ground. But when it all was over, we had to find another place. Swiss time was running out. It seemed that we would lose the race. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Smoke on the water.
Smoke on the water. Oh, hi darlings. Buonasera amici miei italiani e buonasera a tutti i fans. Benvenuti al mio programma Rudi Backstage. Questo sarà una dinamite show, uno spettacolo esplosivo. Vi voglio bene. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and fans and neighbors and what else, I say hi, energetic, but on a very, very hot day in Miami. And I hope that you are happy and that you are following me here from my office in Miami. Ich möchte auch alle meine österreichischen, deutschen und Schweizer Zuseher begrüßen. Melde mich hier wieder mal aus meinem Büro, Rudi Backstage. Und bevor ich es vergesse, Grüße an Michi Steinbügel, habe ich versprochen. Den besten Flugchecker der Welt. Michi Steinbügel for President. And I also would say bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Et tous les fans francophones, bienvenue à mon émission Rudi Backstage, restez avec moi, und dann sage ich noch buenas noches a todos mis amigos españoles y a todos los fans. Bienvenido a mi programa Rudi Backstage. Esto será una dinamite show, una Spektakulo explosivo. Und Pauli, wenn wir ready sind, dann sagen wir jetzt, es beginnt Backstage.
You wanna know what goes on backstage? Oh, come on. Let me take you by the hand. Ow!
Rudi, are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
The way I see it, Barry, this should be a very dynamite show.
You know, I have no idea what the name of this program is, but you're watching it.
Backstage,
All you ever want,
backstage,
all you ever need.
backstage.
Your dreams will be fulfilled once you are there. You'll never wanna leave. You wanna sell your ass for that backstage pass. Backstage is just for the invited. Backstage, they've laid on everything.
Backstage is just for the invited. Today you are invited, my dear friends. Thanks to Dana Gillespie for singing and co-writing with me this wonderful song, as well as thanks to Bilgari, who is now doing the pre-roll music Smoke on the Water in a very special Bilgari version of the great Deep Purple hit. Darlings, today in our show we have an exclusive reading of my friend Freddie. especially since some of you couldn't see it in the last program. Then we have a Falco exclusive, Untold Stories, which is very, very special. And we have, of course, the trivia with 9 winners. And this time it all happens. And very, very, of course. And that's why I put it at the beginning of the show, because she was announced for last week. And it broke my heart because we were too long. But anyway, see it in the positive way. There was so much technical troubles last week. Now I hope we don't have it. Of course, it's art. And of course, it's an artist feature of the wonderful, Pauli, of the wonderful, wonderful DJ Moore now.
Salty tears, where have I been all these years? Little while, tell me now, how long has this been going on? There were chills up my spine, and some thrills I can't define. So sweet, I repeat, how long has this been going on? Oh, I feel, but I could melt, and to heaven I'm hurt. I know how Columbus felt, finding another world. Once more, what it does, I was before. What a break, for heaven's sake. How long has this been going on?
Just wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations, congratulations. This, you saw it in here as a art print. She was donating. Thank you very much, DJ Moore. for one of the main prizes for today's trivia. So you have the usual stuff for photos of myself, and that the very, very biggest prize is not this, but a really nice print which she was donating for you fans. So thank you very much. Anybody else can also donate something for the trivia. And thank you so much. There's a new artist feature on her because she did so many new things already in production. So, and next week we have a new Rudi art. Last week I started reading of my book. You know, the book is finished. You know, my friend Freddie is done, over 50 chapters. I posted it, you know it, hopefully. And so as a service to those who couldn't see it last week, I'm gonna play that again, but I was adding some new parts to it, which were not last week. So you have now here from my office, but we recorded it earlier today, the exclusive reading of a foreword. I call it a foreword of sorts. It's an excerpt, an exclusive excerpt only for you of my, in the meantime, finished and soon forthcoming book, My Friend Freddie. A foreword of sorts. I was never really a fan of Queen, and before I got to know him, certainly not of Freddie Mercury. Back in 1971, it would never have occurred to me that I would one day be allowed to work with one of the biggest bands and one of the most charismatic superstars in rock history. My band has always been the Rolling Stones, filthy, dirty, insolent, with that Keith Richards guitar sound that punches below the belt and hot wires your ears to your genitals. Freddie Mercury's reputation for hating TV interviews preceded him. So I set off with my TV crew for Munich, my palms sweating. Freddie was rumored to be a very difficult interviewee. How very differently it would turn out. We clicked off with each other from the very first moment. We were instantly simpatico, and it was the beginning of what would become a decades-long collaboration and friendship with Queen. Freddie kicked off the conversation with something like, "I've had to give bloody interviews all day. You're the last person I'm talking to, and because I'm thrilled that it's all over soon, you'll get the best interview, darling." Freddie was true to his word, delivering meaty sound bites like, "I'm just a rock and roll prostitute, my dear. And if the people ever stop buying our records, I'll become a strip artist." I dug deeper. "What music would you strip to?" Freddie's face lit up. "All the songs I've written," he said. "That's why I wrote them for." He burst out laughing, a laugh with which I would become so familiar with. Once he'd calmed down, he added, as if we had known each other forever, "You believe that? You believe anything." The ice was broken. That interview was to be the starting point for a decades-long collaboration with Queen. Not long afterwards, I, the novice Austrian filmmaker, found myself shooting my first official video with Queen for Queen Productions. Wow. It was like a dream come true. I'll talk about this first interview with Freddie in this book, which really only tells my story with Freddie. You'll not find an exhaustive biography here, no thoroughly researched, factually comprehensive history, but rather my story. The story of a long-haired hippie who moved out of Vienna's 9th district to conquer the world as a video director and musical filmmaker. Yeah, it's not bad. The hippie is still long-haired, but wearing a ponytail other than in the old days. If you may wonder, this I had to do the reading glasses, and these reading glasses are broken. This is something which I always remember the hurricane for, because it happened during the hurricane night. But I had to read it, and therefore, this is my last one actually. The other one is broken as well. But there's still people who ask me how to pre-order the book. Well, you saw it briefly at the end, www.myfriendfreddie.com. $10 and you get and you reserve an autographed book, and 15 for the so-called VIP package, and you will then also get a dedication that you can choose. But I wanted to do something very special. So all the people who have already pre-ordered or who are pre-ordering in the next days or week or whatever, I will do a special reading of more than what you see here, of a few chapters. And Paulie and I and our new team member, Gwendoline, we will limit it to those who were so kind and pre-ordered the book. So in other words, I'm cutting short the waiting time, because I can imagine you say, oh my God, now it's finished, when do I get it? Well, it's 11 languages, it's a lot of countries, it's a lot of organizing. The book is finished, but it still has to get printed, etc., etc. So that's about the book. And also they will be in short portions posted, and even more. I've recorded more than what you now saw. And I probably will next week show again more. But then I'll be kind of stop, because this is sort of for everybody. But those who have pre-ordered should have an advantage. Okay, darlings, this is now the big moment. I have promised it for last week, and please forgive me. I was talking. So now comes the trivia. We have 9 winners. We will have 9 winners. The thing is that because for 3 questions I didn't do the answers nor the drawing, I now put it all together so we are up to date. And Paulie, if you're ready now follows the world famous trivia. Backstage, da 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 da. Backstage, da 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 da. Backstage, trivia, trivia, trivia. Choo. Ta 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 ta. Ta 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 ta. Okay. Trivia, I know. Let's see how many. I know I promised it. Please, please, please forgive me. Yeah, please, please. But the last time it wasn't possible. And so we have 3 drawings and 3 winners each, because I wanted to have more winners. And 3 times I sort of forgot, or I wasn't thinking, or didn't have time to draw. So the first 3 winners is for the question, when was the very first ever Queen concert? Again, when was the very first ever Queen concert? It's obviously a pretty simple question, trivia question for Queen fans, and most of you are Queen fans. So I have here. Oh, it's so full. I have to go all the way down. Okay. Oh my God! Please, I cannot leave. So, and the first winner is Andy Kane or K. Andy Kane or Kane from the UK. Andy Kane from the UK is our first winner. UK is pretty rare. I'm not even sure if we had a. Oops. Oh my, no. Okay, can't go down. Oh my God, I have to go all the way down. And the number 2 is Stéphane Bonnefoy. Stéphane or Stéphane Bonnefoy. She's the nice person who always translates the German articles, and she has a really great blog. I think it's called Destination Queen, and Not only that great because it has an interview, she really is good. And she's a really, really hardcore Queen fan from France. The next winner is... Oh, again. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this name. Ausra Dolgaliviene from London. Okay, so for the first one, where of course the answer was Truro, where was the first Queen concert? It was Truro in Cornwall, which is the south of England. And it was in July 1970 because we were celebrating recently, well, here we have the winners, celebrating recently 50 years of Queen. So number 2 was also not very complicated. When was the world premiere of Queen, The Untold Stories? When was the world premiere of Queen, The Untold Stories? And winner number 1 is... okay. Ladan Manawi from California. Manawi from California. Okay, so we have USA. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, most of the people who are participating is always 3 countries. Very much on top is Italy and the United States. We just have a winner from the United States. And number 3, and a very good number 3 and bronze medal is always France. And then we have countries like, you know, Austria, UK, Japan, but also Australia, all over Europe. We even had somebody from Indonesia and so on. So, but I stopped doing the statistics because it's always the same. It's about head-to-head Italy, Viva Italia, and America, yeah, USA, and then Vive la France. So the next winner is... No! It's Italy, not spaghetti, but sorry, it looked like spaghetti. Elisabetta Arcetti. Elisabetta Arcetti from Italy. Elisabetta Arcetti from Italy is the number 2 after California. And the third winner for the question number 2, which was when was the world premiere? And of course, the answer was June 7, 2020. I don't have to forget to say that. And also it was called, what was the platform? It was on Instagram. And the third one, oh my God, my nose is peaking, sorry. The third one is, oh, Claire Go, Australia, Claire Go. Well, Claire does this very lovely also things that, you know, the, how do you say in English, photographs where she works on it, and is probably number 1, a very good Queen fan and part of a group over there. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 6 winners. So there's 3 more to draw. I promise you, I won't do it again. The next time trivia, we'll always do the drawing because this is a little bit. But anyway, you know, I don't forget anybody and anything. So the third one, oh yeah, the third one was, I have to say that, for those of you who didn't know, I was telling a story about the Rolling Stones and my first time when I was backstage, you know, when I did my very first Rolling Stones video, which was in 81, 82, called Time Is On My Side. And when I filmed it in Syracuse, in the state of New York, not New York City, and then also intercut with 20 years of Stones history. It's actually quite a nice video. The manager, actually the assistant of the assistant, excuse me, it's the Coke, Diet Coke, of course. The manager said, you want to see them? And the door opened and Keith Richards was doing a cocaine line, but not like this. It was from here to here, not like this, from here to here, cocaine. And when I said that, and he was saying, who is this guy? And somebody said, it's the new video guy. And he turned around and said, okay, Rudi, Rudi's name, okay. You want one? And then I had sort of the inspiration when I told the story weeks ago to stop and to make a trivia question out of it. So the third one, which is a simple question, a yes or no question, even if you don't know any of the Queen questions or whatever, it's just a yes or no, so you have a 50-50 chance. And the funny thing is, unfortunately, that most of you were wrong. Most of you were wrong. Now think about it. We have the first winner, and it is Anna Grata. From Poland. I love it. That's the very first time we have a winner from Poland. That is great. I love Poland and, of course, the Czech Republic and all. So what do you think was the answer? You probably want to know, right? Well, okay. I tell you after the last winner. Okay, I'm making a little bit of suspense. So, okay, so we have the second winner of the third trivia question, which we have to draw today, and it is, Joanna Rodriguez from Portugal. It only says Port, but it must be Portugal. And the last one, so I mean, what is the answer? What do you think? So anyway, to make long story short, most of you said, Rudi said no, I don't want cocaine. And this answer is wrong. I was talking to a good friend and he said, you have to say the truth, because it's such a pity that so many people are wrong. But anyway, I said yes. As I said, by the way, yes, many times with Freddie Mercury. I'm not saying that, I was a saint. So, and the last winner for today is, and which is the main prize, by the way, the main prize is a actual, how do you say, a print, but an art print of this picture of DJ Moore. And it's, as far as I know, it's signed by her. And if the person wants it, I can also sign it. And it is, Uschi Stöcker. No, Uschi Stocker. So, darlings, that's the trivia. We have 9 winners, and please, this week we don't have a trivia question, but soon come the next one, okay? This is what I was sort of, doing quickly, and it will be more and more each time. I don't know if you see that, but here is the long nose of somebody. This could be eyes, but it says trivia, and it has quite a lot of things. And each time we do a trivia, I'm going to do a little bit more. And at the end, that's going to become a memorabilia that we will, of course, also give to the fans. So our main topic today, apart from the Freddie Mercury book, of course, and apart from trivia and DJ Moore and art, is Falco. That happened because a fan was writing to me in German, by the way, can you please talk about Falco in Rudi Backstage? And I said back, it was a week ago, yeah, sure. And then it sort of created amongst Falco fans, Rudi's talking about Backstage about Falco. So I made a little Untold Stories thing that you already know from Queen in quite a nice version. It's 4 interesting stories of 4 of his major videos, I assume, yeah. And a longer version of that, of course, will then also be on Rudi Dolzer's Doro TV as a separate item. But now we say, please rock me, Amadeus. This is Falco, The Untold Stories, Part 1. Falco, The Untold Stories. Well, I could do something like 10 hours of Untold Stories with Falco because it was my privilege to direct all videos he ever did, some of them, most of them with my then partner, now ex-partner, Hannes Rossacher. I have to ask you for a little bit of understanding because I'm going to do an intro in German and English but please stay tuned. The rest will be in English only. So, meine lieben Damen und Herren auf Deutsch. Ich weiß natürlich, dass es viele Falco-Fans gibt, die Deutsch sprechen, Deutschland, Österreich, Schweiz. Aber ich bitte um Verständnis, dass ich die Geschichten jetzt nur in Englisch erzähle. Die Version mit Untertitel gibt es noch nicht, beziehungsweise nicht so schnell. Ich versuche langsam Englisch zu sprechen. Für die, die nicht so gut Englisch sprechen, müssen Sie halt vielleicht noch ein zweites oder drittes Mal anschauen auf meinem YouTube-Kanal. Rudi als Doro TV ist das ja ewig abrufbar. Und okay. What I said is that I'm asking for understanding for my German-speaking fans, because obviously Falco was Austrian, that I'm going to do this completely in English, because there might be people in Germany, Austria, Switzerland who don't speak English that well. And it's also for Austrians, Germans, and Swiss people kind of funny that Rudi Dolezal, who they know speaks German, talks English, but since we are an international project, I ask for the understanding, just that you know what I just said. The first untold story is about Rock Me Amadeus. Amadeus, remember? Well, the video was filmed in 1985, although in the United States, it only became #1 a year later, in 1986. And I remember that when it was #1 in the States, which was a sensation, yeah, also for us, for Falco, my ex-partner Rossacher and myself, I received a phone call from MTV New York, you know, music television. At that time, they still played videos, which was a long time ago. And it was, of course, on heavy rotation, which meant it was played, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 times per day, you know. And don't forget the only first and never again afterwards German singing #1 hit in the United States of America in the official real Billboard charts. Nobody ever has done it before or afterwards. Falco was a superstar suddenly. And the people from MTV called me and said, oh, great video, da, da, da. I mean, this was really the three of us, Falco, Rossacher, and myself. It was a really great concept, you know, the thing with you know, the rockers and Falco playing Amadeus or Mozart and vice versa. Also, the movie helped. You know, Amadeus was a big cinema success as a movie. So anyway, they called me or us and said, wow, you have all this great stuff, because it was obviously, you know, how it looks. It looked like Rococo with also the wigs and everything. It must have been cost millions of dollars to have all those, you know, the thing that looks like a palais, you know, that, I mean, what was your budget? And I said to them, well, it doesn't look like a palais. Things like that really exist in Vienna, Austria. So it is a palais where you can go there and you take an underground there and it costs nothing. Of course, we had to rent it, so it cost a little bit. I mean, the budget, if I remember correctly, and I haven't transferred it now to dollars, was something like $8,000 in total-ish, you know? And my fee and the one of Rossacher was something in the neighborhood of $2,000 for a worldwide #1. Something like that, at least, because it was a co-production of many partners and what have you, and a lot of people were contributing. So it came to the day of the actual shoot, and we were asking a lot of favors of very great people. A lot of them are, I will, you know, one day, or, you know, name, because there is a Falco book of mine, but I haven't done it then. I have to do it, that everybody who contributed to this big success is also named. So we had the day, the day where the filming was. And don't forget, there was no mobile phones. There was no internet. There was, just phones with a wire that you had at home. So in order to manage to have so many people for makeup and hair, they had this big, big, big hairdos that you had in the Rococo time, at Mozart's time. We had to start at 8 in the morning in shifts with 3 or 4 makeup artists and hairstylists so that we are ready for 10 a.m. when we wanted to start shooting with Falco, who, by the way, as you know, is called Hans Hölzl. Well, we did all that and everybody was ready, and it was 10 o'clock, no Falco. 10:30, no Falco. We call at home, nobody picks up the phone. 11 o'clock, no Falco. 11:30, no Falco. At 12, a super cool Falco comes in and says, "Hi, darlings." Well, he didn't say darlings, it was Burschen, oder. Yeah, and everybody said, "Well, what happened?" And he said, "Well, my dog overslept." And suddenly all the extras hated Falco because they had to wait for hours in those really heavy wigs and everything. So it was not a good start, but it became a pretty good video. It's hundreds of millions of hits worldwide. And I have to say that I'm still very happy with the result. It's something that you still can watch today. Genie was also filmed in 1985. At that time, Falco and we had a worldwide #1 video, and he, of course, a hit. So the video brand Doro was world famous. I think that Genie, although it did not become a big hit in America, because it's a slow song, but it was a really big hit in Europe, and it was a big scandal, that Genie is one of the best videos, I think. Interesting was that, it has a lot of quotes of very, very famous movies like Hitchcock movies, etc. And it was banned from television and from radio for a long time in parts of Germany, Austria, Switzerland. But looking back, it's like a mini film, yeah. And I think it's very, very okay, to say the least. Interesting is the major scene is when Falco is sitting in English it's called straitjacket. In German, auf Deutsch heißt es Zwangsjacke. That's what you have when you are crazy and you are in the Madman Center, in the madhouse. And when we explained it to him, Falco said, "Oh, I'm not sure. Only if the straitjacket is from Armani," which of course was a completely BS thing. It was not from Armani. But then the second hurdle was that we had to explain the concept to the record company. And I remember that was in Switzerland. And the owners of the record company were very, very wealthy people. When we explained that concept, they said, "Oh my God, straitjacket? Falco is not a madman." And I said, "Please believe me, fans will love it." And that's how it turned out. I also want to talk about Out of the Dark, which became a hit in 1998. Falco played me this song. I visited him in his house in Austria, in Gars am Kamp. And Hans, because we always said Hans, not Falco, He played me Out of the Dark. We were sitting in his, it was kind of a studio living room. I later filmed there, of course, many times. And he played me that song, Out of the Dark. And I was absolutely fascinated. I said, wow. And interesting enough, Hans Falco was very uncertain about the song. He said, are you sure, Rudi? I said, can I do this? In German, he said, kann ich mir das erlauben? Ja, glaubst du, kaufen wir das die Lied up? Because there were lines in there, I think I have to die before I come alive or something like that. It's very bad English translation, spontaneously. But muss ich denn sterben, um zu leben in German? And which became very meaningful, especially after his death in the Dominican Republic. But he was very uncertain. And I said to him, Hans, there was only one hit that I ever predicted in my life, and that was Rock Me Amadeus. All the other Falco songs that I loved, like Emotional or whatever, never really became a hit. They had great videos with them, but they were, but with Rock Me Amadeus, I was sure other videos or songs which I didn't think that great became a hit. So I said, but this one, Out of the Dark, release it because it's going to become your second Genie. And that was the case. The thing is that, of course, before it was released, Falco died in a car accident in the Dominican Republic. And the whole death the day of the death has an own group of stories where I will always be reminded because it's one day after my birthday, and it is a special thing that I might tell you in another story. But when we did the video, and very instrumental for doing that video was his publisher, and I'm happy that I brought them together, and his name was George Glück. And actually they met earlier, but that was very instrumental. George was the one who said, we have to do a video for Out of the Dark. Problem was that there was no Falco. So, and problem was also that Falco only sang this song twice, because he had it actually quite long, but not in the final version with the lyrics. He only sang it twice when it was filmed. One was at his birthday party, which at the same time was a birthday party for Niki Lauda, the famous Formula One world champion 3 times, in Ibiza, very poorly filmed by a news crew. And the second one was when he played it in a shopping center by the name of Excalibur, where Falco, became so was not on his height that he played shopping centers. It was a playback performance actually. So that was the only footage there was of Falco even singing parts of the song. So my job was to find other scenes of other videos on the one hand with George Glück and with Rossacher, scenes from videos where he didn't sing, but on the other hand, moments where we could fake sing something, which I also did for Queen, as you remember, which The Show Must Go On. And actually, because it was released after his death, it was a #1 hit all over Europe, especially in the German-speaking countries. And the only pity is that, of course, Falco never saw that video. The spirit never dies. That's not only a very good saying, it also is a song of Falco. And long after he died, that song was found in a studio and was released, and I was asked to do the video. Falco was gone, of course, many years before. The Spirit Never Dies video was in 2009. Falco died in 98. So for that video, I came up with a special concept, and the main part was played by not his last girlfriend, but the last big love, a lot of people thought, because they didn't know that there was a very last big love, which I only found out a few years ago when I went to the Dominican Republic, but that's a different story. Caroline Perron, a Canadian, very beautiful lady, model, actress, etc., from Canada, actually in Indian, in terms of indigenous person, with Indian rituals, etc., Canadian Indian. She played the main part, and she, thank you very much, thank you, until today, she played the main role. And the whole thing was that it should be unclear if Falco maybe is alive or not, because that was also rumors at the time, you know. Maybe we saw somebody who looked like Falco, etc., etc. So the video starts with her being in a car, and of course a car that played a role in the previous Falco videos, Brillantin Brutal. And she looks at, of course, at this, already a smartphone, and it says, "Meet me at a certain time in our place." So she gets out, and she goes down. You know, the Vienna, die Wiener Kanalisation, where Vienna's, the canal is led, and where actually the parts of the Genie video was filmed on that original location. But you go down, it's underneath the streets of Vienna. It's a very spooky kind of location. And she goes there, and when she finally goes to their place on the big wall, there is a projection of, again, fake synced Falco shots where you have the impression he sings the song, and she sings with him the backing vocals. And then she starts running. You don't know why. Run, all back, you know, and then she ends up in the car. And then I took a scene from Brillantin Brutal where he said, "How are you, darling?" And it's the original Falco, and I faked the reverse shot. So and then the car goes away, so you think, well, maybe he is alive. But I think it's quite a good story. It was a big hit, and again, it was a song produced by Mende de Rouge, as far as I remember. Very instrumental was his long-term manager Horst Borg, and I think it was a very good story. I mean, I tried to do the best, and it was not a hit in America and in the English-speaking countries. But for Falco fans, it's an important song because the Spirit Never Dies is sort of also there where he actually died when I was many years later at this space in the Dominican Republic. There is a little plaque put there by fans which says the Spirit Never Dies. That's the story of the Spirit Never Dies. Yeah, the Spirit Never Dies, Falco. It's something that is very personal to me. He was one of my best friends. There will be more Falco soon, and because there's some iconic songs and videos. People were asking me, well, okay, there is this print of DJ Moore. What do the other 9 get? Well, they get memorabilia like this, you know, remember, everybody gets a really great picture, which I then sign and make into a really nice memorabilia. Here we have, for example, Maike, yeah, These are the originals because I'm not going out. This is for Sharon, yeah, the Sharon original. This is Isabel, oh, Liz Turtle, love and respect. She got this very early print of a picture of Barbara Boffa. Holy Esquivel, yeah, and so on and so on. And all the originals are kept. I mean, the people of course got them as emails, but I will post them as soon as I'm in Europe. People were asking me the last time I was quickly shown an award. Well, here it is again. It's for here we go. It's actually 2 awards because it's part 1 and part 2. And it's for the, of course, of Freddie Mercury tribute concerts, where I had the privilege of being the co-director and co-producer. If you remember, it was a DVD like that. And my main contribution on that evening, apart from doing all those this video inserts, which were the stuff that they were played in and portrayed Freddie, but I had the idea, or I was pushing very strongly. Also Brian May was for it, and also Jim Beach, that I'm doing the AAO, and I'm leaving space because I was expecting that the whole stadium would sing, and we didn't know if that really happens, but it did, and it was one of the goosebump moments of that concert. I'm very happy that I could contribute something. So, darlings, next week, because that's very important to me too, next week we have a Roger Taylor exclusive. Yeah, we had already Queen, The Untold Stories, we had a Brian May exclusive. Next week it's Roger Taylor exclusive. As you might know, and I'm equally proud as of all the Freddie and the Brian May productions and the Queen productions that I had the privilege to direct. I also directed quite a few, I think, nice videos for Roger's solo career and projects. Apart from the fact that we were sort of party animals between Ibiza and Los Angeles and a lot of other places, Rio de Janeiro, I can remember. Oh my God. We had a lot of fun. Vienna was a big party. Oh, Jerry Stickles' birthday party. Very wild at the time. Of course, sex and drugs and rock and roll. But yes, Roger Taylor, and I mean, one of the videos that I'm really, really very proud of is Power of Love for the Cross, where also, of course, Spike Edney was a very important part. And the reason being is that for me, you know, it was like the actually, if I may say that, and please, Falco fans, don't kill me, it was the better and the continuation of Rock Me Amadeus. Because we did it in a very classical original setting with a wild party going on with characters who were partly also in the Amadeus video, but this time it was more like a banquet of very crazy people, which was also very lascive and erotic, but not over sexually or cross any lines. So anyway, and then in another video, which I think is artistically a very good work of Roger and myself, was Happiness, because we were there exploring some very, very, at the time, new video techniques. So Roger Taylor exclusive. Then I'm thinking I'm paying a tribute to the great lady who was designing and creating the Freddie Mercury statue in Montreux. Her name is Irena Sedlečka, or in Czech is Sedlečka. And in connection with that, Rudi will be on Czech television on August 20 on Czech 1 at 7 p.m. in the evening in the main news program. Because unfortunately, Irena passed, but she was 91, and I was privileged to film the making of that statue, and that's a little bit something that I want to do next week. And of course, we do have a new episode with completely new art, Rudi art. So that's it for today. You know, I hope you liked it. It was a mixture. And yes, I can say that I'm happy that the book is finished. It's like a big, not burden, but a big responsibility. But I mean, it's still going on. There are the visuals and everything. So I say goodbye. I say thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it. And this was Backstage, and I'll see you next time when it's again time for Backstage.
You wanna know what goes on backstage? Oh, come on. Let me take you by the hand. Ow!
Rudi, are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
The way I see it, Barry, this should be a very dynamite show.
You know, I have no idea what the name of this program is, but you're watching it.
All you ever want,
Backstage,
all you ever need.
backstage,
Your dreams will be fulfilled once you are there. You'll never wanna leave. You wanna sell your ass for that backstage pass. Backstage is just for the invited. Backstage.